John Lennon once said, "Life is what happens while you're busy making other plans." And he was right. Life doesn't always warn you. It just happens. You're doing your thing, making plans, setting goals, trying to keep it together. And then, out of nowhere, something breaks. Your health, your job, your heart, your hope. Some people call it life. Some call it bad luck. Some call it a test. Whatever name you give it, adversity has a way of showing up uninvited, loud, disruptive, and completely uninterested in your timing. And here's what's strange. Some people collapse under it. Others, they breathe through it. Not because they're stronger, not because they're colder, but because they've learned something most of us haven't. How to be flexible when life doesn't bend to your will. So let's talk about it. What is adversity really? It's not just what happens, it's the space between what you expected and what actually showed up. You expected more time, you got a deadline, you expected stability, you got chaos, you expected a future with them, they walked out. It's the collision between what you wanted and what you're left holding. And how you handle that collision is what defines your resilience. Now here's the trap. Most people think resilience is about bouncing back, toughening up, forcing your way through. But real resilience is not about bouncing. It's about bending. It's not about suppressing pain. It's about not adding suffering to it, because pain is part of life. But suffering? That's what we create when we resist what already is. So how do you deal with adversity when it shows up at your door? Step 1, put it in perspective. Not everything that hurts has to become a lifelong scar. Sometimes it's just a flat tire, a spilled drink, a job that wasn't meant to be yours, a chapter. Not the whole story. But your mind will try to convince you that it's everything, that it defines you, that it'll never get better. That's not reality. That's distortion. So zoom out. Is it hard? Maybe. Is it permanent? Probably not. Step 2. Separate what you can control from what you can't. You don't control time. You don't control illness. You don't control other people. But you do control how you show up, what you feed your mind, who you surround yourself with, when you ask for help, when you let go. Fighting reality will only exhaust you. But working with it, that's power. Step 3, learn to accept. Not in a passive, whatever kind of way, but in a strong, open-handed way. Acceptance says, this is happening. I don't like it, but I don't have to make it worse by denying it. Because every time you scream, I don't want this, life doesn't hear you, but your nervous system does, and it starts to unravel. So breathe. Let the moment be what it is, and then choose your next move. Resilience isn't built when things go well. It's forged in the friction, in the mess, in the space between breakdown and breakthrough. And no, it doesn't come naturally to everyone. Some of us need help, coaching, tools, support. Someone to say, you've got this, and I've got you. I needed that once. You might need it now. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. So if you're walking through something heavy and you feel like the world is off its axis, start small. Pause. Breathe. Don't catastrophize. Don't predict the worst. Don't rehearse the story where you always lose. You're still here. That means it's not over. The job, the relationship, the outcome, those might change. But you're still the one who decides what this moment means. And that is where your power lives. And let me tell you, this isn't just theory to me. At the end of 2022, I made a decision. After years of pushing through work, meetings, deadlines, always on, I gave myself something rare. 2 full months off, just for me. The plan? Thailand, 8 weeks. Twice a day training with my personal trainer. Clean food. Beach tennis. snorkeling, canoeing, hiking, a full mental and physical reset. And I wasn't winging it. I had prepared for this for weeks. I could already feel what it would do for me, what it would rebuild, what it would clear. This wasn't just a trip. It was a retreat and restart. And then, on the very first evening, I walked barefoot to the beach, excited to see my first sunset. I jumped, barely 70 centimeters, and I heard it. Crack. Same ankle I'd broken 3 years earlier. Same island. Same moment I thought, this time is mine. The pain hit, but honestly, the disappointment hit harder. All that preparation, all those weeks of anticipation, all the structure, gone in a split second. My dream trip became no training, no swimming, no hiking, no beach tennis, leg up, crutches, rest. And for about a day, I was angry, frustrated, done. But then something happened, something quiet. I realized I had time, real time, a time I never had, time I would have filled with reps, runs, and recovery. So I opened my laptop and I started writing. Every day, page after page, and 5 months later, my second book was finished. Not only that, but the platform you're watching this on, Become Damn Good. It started right there, in that quiet, broken ankle moment, when life threw a punch, and I chose to create instead of collapse. So yeah, I missed the training, I missed the hiking, I missed the beach, but I built something else, something that wouldn't have existed if everything had gone to plan. That's the thing about setbacks. They feel like something's been taken from you, but sometimes they're giving you something back. Time, perspective, clarity, a new direction. Something your old self never would have scheduled. So if you're staring at a broken plan right now, if everything you prepared for just crumbled, breathe, pause, and ask the question that saved me. What is this moment trying to give me? Because resilience isn't about getting what you want. It's about meeting what is and choosing to make something of it anyway. So how do you do it? How do you turn a broken plan into something that still moves you forward? You start by letting go of what the moment was supposed to be. Not emotionally, just practically. You clear the calendar. You drop the checklist. You stop waiting for the version of reality that didn't arrive. And then you ask yourself one question. What's still available to me? Time, focus, rest, clarity. What can I create, feel, explore, or build now that the original plan is gone? You don't need to pretend it's better. You don't need to pretend you're okay. You just need to look around the moment you're actually in and ask, what's possible here? Then you act on that. Tiny step, tiny shift. Not because it's what you wanted, but because it's what's real. And what's real is always a good place to begin.